What's up guys, my name is Robin and welcome back to Would You Rather on my channel RobzarrGoesRawr. Now for those of you who don't know how this game goes, you've got the blue option and the red option and you pick which one you'd rather do. Simple as that. So let's get straight into it. So, first one, would you only be able to meow, yet live 9 lives, be able to talk and live once? Now does that mean that I would be able to understand putty cats? Because if it does, then I want to. And I just saw a comment down here. You can write to people, which is true. So on the basis that I think that means I'd be able to understand my pretty cats and I get 9 lives. But then again, it's a question of would you want? No, actually I don't, because I only want 1 life. The whole subject of living forever and living more than once to me is bizarre, and I don't agree with it. So on that, I'd go with no. But I'd love to be able to talk to my kitties. What's next? You have a huge head and a small neck, or have a huge neck and a small head. So basically, be a deformed human or be a giraffe. Huge neck and a small head. Huge neck and a small head, or huge head and a small neck. I don't know what's... I don't know which one of them sounds worse. They don't sound particularly good either way. I think a huge neck would be more invasive. Like, it'd be definitely more notable, like having a giraffe-sized neck. So for that reason, I'm going to go with small neck. Small neck. Okay. Be stuck on the moon or be free floating in space. You could live without air, water, and food. If you could live without air, water, or food, would you rather be stuck on the moon or be free floating in space? I mean, the things you would see floating in space. Is there any kind of clarification? No. The things you would see floating in space. You would see spectacular things that no one's ever seen before. Whereas if you're stuck on the moon, what's the difference between being stuck on the moon and being stuck on Earth, really? Like, there'd be no benefit, there'd be no difference. I would float free in space, definitely. It's a close one. You could have a little camera recorded to you, and you could report back to NASA. Oh, that'd be amazing. You could report back to NASA. That'd be cool. You'd probably die out there. You'd probably die out there. But would you rather marry a 10-year-old and have a faithful relationship while receiving no or not? No, not even a question. Thank you. Really? For £100,000? That's basically like. I suppose it depends how old you are. I'm 24 years old. I would not want to marry a 10-year-old. You just wouldn't do it, would you? That's like going back, like the old ages of marriage. You just, we're not going back in time, people. Okay, eat an apple or eat a pear. I like apples. I like apples, prefer them to pears. Apples and pears. No questions there, I just prefer apples. Would you rather be in jail for 60 years or die? Now, being in jail would suck, but the thing is, and this is a big debate about people that are serving time in jail and in general, so I'm not going to get too much into this. But jails and prisons in general these days here in the UK, they're pretty well kitted out. Like, you can get an education, you can play games, you can interact with people, you can do a lot of things from inside of a prison cell, A lot of people think that's not right, and I personally think it depends on what you're being put in there for. But you can still have a pretty okay life. I mean, you'd be institutionalized, you would. But it's the thing that the question is, does life matter? And ultimately it does. And not only would you get all of them benefits of still being alive, like in education and being able to do things and all that kind of stuff, but you would still get to see your family And yes, there's a risk you die in jail anyway, but at least you'd live longer, so I would much rather be in jail. Absolutely. Really, 60% of people would rather die. Wow, that's a bit disconcerting, I'm not going to lie. Okay, what's next? Play GoldenEye and GoldenEye, no question. GoldenEye, every day. All these people that haven't voted for GoldenEye have never played GoldenEye. Fucking Halo. Would you rather watch Are You Afraid of the Dark or read Goosebumps? I've done both those things. I'm a fan of both of these things. Goosebumps is better. I do like me some old school Goosebumps. We're assuming this is old school Goosebumps. I like Goosebumps. I'm going to go with Goosebumps. I'm glad people agree. Would you rather drink 5 ounces of vodka by your nose, so snort 5 ounces of vodka, or snort 5 ounces of chili hot sauce? I don't particularly deal with hot foods well, but I think vodka would have a much more heightened effect. You'd probably burn yourself, and it's just with the hot sauce. I don't know, would vodka be safer? You'd be drunk for days, it'd just go right to your head, but I think you'd get over it. I think the hot sauce would take longer to get over. Also, I'm not, like, I don't particularly drink myself anymore. I don't like drinking anymore. But when I do go for vodka. So I'm gonna go with vodka. I don't particularly like hot food, so. Which wizard would you rather be? Gandalf or Dumbledore? Dumbledore is my hero, I think. Gandalf is just incredibly badass, isn't he? And he does all this stuff, and he kind of guides the Fellowship of the Ring through this kind of journey. But Dumbledore is there as kind of like a father figure to Harry, and he's a lovely guy, and I prefer Harry Potter just straight up, so I'm gonna go with Dumbledore. A lot of people would rather be Gandalf though. That's interesting. I suppose Gandalf's powers are more ranged. Like I think he's probably the more powerful wizard, but I think person-wise it'd be Dumbledore every time. As a 15-year-old, would you rather hate your parents but have to be with them 24/7, love your parents but have them both die in a horrible gory death right in front of you? So this is like, be Batman or don't be Batman. Like, as a 15-year-old, not, you know, 15-year-olds in general, like, I was one of these 15-year-olds, did not get on with their parents particularly well anyway, but you grow out of it. Why would you want to lose your parents when you grow out of the miserable teenage stage that you're in at 15 years old? So, I would much rather have my parents than not, thank you kindly. Would you rather be slapped full force by a UFC fighter or lick a dog turd? Ugh. I think either one of these is going to be a bad news, isn't it? You could lick a dog turd and it'd just be over with, whereas like being full force slapped by an UFC fighter, by a UFC fighter would be like, there'd be ramifications about that for days, and you'd be in pain for days. You could just kind of like a dog turd and it'd be over. I think bind you the disease. Now I'm gonna go. No, I'll do this. What's next? Would you rather lose your keys and lose your cell phone? See, here's a good one, because I lose my keys on a regular basis, and so many people have got spare keys of my stuff that I trust. Obviously, they won't go into my house and like take stuff, or they won't take my car. But so many people have got spare keys for my stuff because I lose my stuff. And my phone is never far away from me, so I'm gonna go with lose my keys, because I could just get keys back. Would you rather be topless all the time or pantless all the time? Neither? Is there a neither option? You'd be wearing underwear, right? If that's the case, you just go topless, wouldn't you? Yeah. I suppose that's more of a guy one. We'll do 2 more, and then I'll leave you one. Would you rather be married to a morbidly obese and ugly person who is incredibly wealthy, or married to a gorgeous person who is on welfare? Well, it depends what your preferences are, doesn't it? Depends what your preferences are. It depends, is this person on welfare taking advantage of the welfare? I mean, I don't particularly think money is a indicator of whether you should be with someone or not. You know, as much as I don't think looks should be as much of an indicator as they are, like I say they are, I don't care if people are on welfare. I don't care about money. One more, then we'll find a good one for you guys. Would you rather eat a 4-inch circumference venomous spider and equally venomous wasp? I don't mind wasps, but spiders scare the shit out of me, and for that reason, I think there's a lot more damage that could be done through spider venom than wasp venom. Which is equally venomous. Let's just go with wasp. I don't like spiders. So let's see what the next one is, see if it's a good one for you guys. Would you rather be Chev Kleos from Crank or be the Transporter? Jason Statham roleplay. So these are Jason Statham films. Which one of these 2 characters would you rather be? Let me know your reasons and your answers in the comments below. That's going to be it from me for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any more games like this online that you want me to try out, then leave a comment about that below and I'll be sure to give it a check out. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you keep an eye out for the rest of the videos that are coming up this week, guys. Until the next time you hear from me, as always, stay classy, gamers.